close like the wood and stuff, and then, so they got plenty of choices and then we'll grab them.
Right.
At 6 o'clock.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Father, for this day, and Lord, we praise you for the blessings that you send down upon us. Lord, as leaders, let us follow you and follow those steps closely, Lord, and we just ask, Father, that you help those that are in need tonight and be with those that don't know you, Lord. We just pray that they will see your blessings. We thank you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right. Calling the regular meeting to order. I need a motion of approval of the regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion of approval.
I second.
Need a motion of approval for register of claims, water, sewer, town, payroll, number 13112-13216.
I make a motion for approval.
I second.
Need a motion for approval on the massive amount of sewer adjustments here.
I make a motion for approval.
I second
Okay. All right, and then we need to go ahead and have a motion of approval for the additional appropriations.
I make a motion for approval of the additional appropriations.
it. I second.
All right, Jake.
All right, I don't have a whole lot. First order of business is the trail. We had the ribbon cutting June 20th, somewhere around there last month. Tom gave a nice little speech, so thank you, Tom. I took some pictures if anybody wants some pictures, but it went well. We have 50 or 60 people here, so I was kind of impressed. So the trail's open from here to Dean's Lake. It's paved to the bridge and then gravel all the way to almost Gordon, and then it's paved for a couple miles and back to gravel. So I have not ridden the whole stretch, but I hear it's nice. The bathroom out here, Tom mentioned putting some security cameras up out there, so I've reached out to our security camera guy. He's gonna come down and see what we need to do to hook those up. Also, I talked to Jeff Quile about taking down all those old poles along the trail, and me, Tim, and Nikki started taking those down yesterday, and we took a couple down, but they're pretty big pain in the butt, so it's gonna take us a few weeks to get them all down. There's only 7 or 8 left, but we gotta cut them down, haul them off, yank the old one out. It's a lot. Next, the community crossings bid. So they finished up the crack ceiling, so 2024-02 is complete. I got the invoice, so Sherry will pay that next month. I just got it today. And then that one will be closed out. I'll have some paperwork I can do. In the meantime, 2025, the second round, they have suspended that until sometime this fall or even next year. So there's no community crossing paperwork or anything to do. We believe it's related to the new governor. He's put a halt to things. There's House Bill 1461. You're welcome to go look it up. I couldn't make any sense of it, but it's something to do with how they're allocating the funding. Building permits, we got 2 new houses going in, one on Nog Lane, one on Crush Drive. For utilities, we started flushing hydrants last week. Actually, week before, Tim did the Maplewood Tower up on Motsinger and Fairview. The week after, he flushed the highway, Shorts Corner Road, got all that. Then last week, we started doing them from the tower on out towards Old Pekin, Jordan Lake. In the meantime, as you all know, Salem issued a below water advisory. The little I do know, they're having an issue at the treatment plant with the coagulant they use to filter out the manganese in the water, which is what's making it brown and black. It's still safe. There's still chlorine in the water. It's just an appearance thing. They are working on it. They have not lifted their boil advisory, but I can tell you as soon as they do, we still got to wait. We still have to do our test, which is 2 consecutive 24-hour tests. So it's going to be Thursday or Friday at the earliest. But like I said, the water's still safe, it's still clean, it's just, they say it's an aesthetic thing. I can't tell any difference in the taste, it just looks, at my house, I don't have any groundwater. We did, fix a broken hydrant out on Rob's Lane. It was completely broke, we couldn't shut it off. We've done a little bit of an inventory, we've got one by Jeff's house up on Christie that we're gonna fix in the morning. And another one up on Brooklyn Court, we're gonna try to fix it, but we'll probably end up replacing. The hydrant's about $4,000, so the next few months, we're probably gonna have to buy a few, so just give me a heads up on that.
We talked about this the other day, but, wouldn't it be handy if you had one or two in stock?
It would, I talked to a supplier today, and they're 8 weeks out,
Okay,
so,
great.
yes.
Yeah. So they always go down on a holiday weekend.
I know,
What
whatever
time
you
in
need.
the world?
Yes, that's a good idea, we do need to have one, we've got one on hand now from 1995. It's a brand new hydrant, it's been sitting, I'm kinda scared to put it in, but we're gonna try it out, see what it does.
Okay.
Am I free to interject on this?
Sure, yeah, this is your area, so.
Yeah, it's kind of, it piques my interest on, can the public safety, and maybe Sherry can tell us, can the public safety tax that the town takes in go towards purchasing hydrants like that?
Yeah,
Can it go towards that? Is that where you're using the funds to purchase hydrants from, or no?
We always use water.
Water.
because the general fund pays the water for the hydrants,
Okay,
so they've already been paid for. But
okay,
if they get in a bind and have to have one, I can use public safety
Okay.
monies.
that'd be good. Definitely want to see all those stuff, because it's, I mean,
We
the
we
last
just,
3 structure fires we've had in the town of Pekin, just so you all have a heads up, the hydrant that was closest to that structure was shut off in the ground for whatever reason, so.
and we're
It's not
discovering,
luck of the draw. A lot of them work, but,
the one at Fifth and Jefferson is operational, the valve's open. We
Okay.
don't know why it was shut off.
Okay, yeah, that was shut off, yeah, that one we had the.
Tim flushed it and we left it on and we've been watching it, it's not leaking,
Yeah,
so.
the crest fire there, the guys went to tap onto that one and it's like, it shut off on the ground, I had no idea. And, so, we was told,
We're
yeah, it was
discovering
shut off.
those.
We was told, yeah, it was shut off on the ground, but we've never given a heads up that it was and why.
And we're trying to fix that, I told you the one on
Yeah,
Rock Lane was
right.
down there, and we got it fixed the next day, so.
Good deal, good deal.
We've got 2 new water services put in, the one on, actually 3, well, no, the crash drivers are there, so Novel Lane, and then there's a new service going in on Highway 60 up by the old R&D homes, the house is already there, but there's a couple houses on 1 meter and he's splitting up. We did have to order a bunch of new parts, it's about 500 feet of service line, and we're gonna have to rent a trencher to trench the line in, because I don't wanna dig up the guy's yard with the backhoe, because it would make a mess. For sewer, so we haven't had any new backups on Crest Drive, but we did go up there and jetted that line out, flushed it out, and put in another sewer tap, or sewer clean out. So everybody cross your fingers that we've got that issue resolved. It's about 300 or 400 feet. If this doesn't fix it, we're gonna have to replace the whole sewer main from manhole to manhole. The biggest problem is only 6-inch sewer main, it's too small. We pulled out a lot of gravel, so I'm not sure if kids threw it in their clean out, I don't know how it got there. But anyways, that's where we're at with that.
Okay.
For the park, I think the 4th of July went great this year, so big thanks to the betterment. There's a lot of work done by a few individuals, so hats off to them. Trash was atrocious. Tim and I went in the morning of the 4th and cleaned all the trash up at the park, and it was pretty gross. People they just leave trash sitting everywhere. So we got that cleaned up, and Darlene got it picked up that evening. So when we cleaned it up the next day, the park was in pretty good shape. We were done very quickly. Next year, we need more trash cans and more porta pots. And
Porta pot's already taken care of,
that's already been addressed, so.
and exactly where they're going.
Good. And I'm sure Jeff will have more to chime in on that.
I tried not to,
No, not you, this Jeff.
Oh, yeah, the other Jeff.
The last thing I have is a new employee started on the 16th, and so far she's working out great. Not afraid to get dirty. Just a great worker, so.
And she was really helpful to me the days I was at the park by myself,
Good.
so.
That's all I got.
All right, thanks, Jaden. Jeff?
Just on top of what Jaden started there, before it went off, we had a few hiccups, but we got it all, get everything working as well as it could. So thanks everybody. I thanked all the officers that were here and appreciate all their help. Fed them all at Silver Pine. We didn't have anything park to feed them, so I fed them up there. So Sherry got a bill for that. She got part of the bill. Part of the bill was paid by one of the patrons that was up there that day, that paid for some of their lunches too, so.
Okay.
But other than that, I think it went pretty good.
All right, perfect. Tim, you got anything you want to add?
Nope.
All right, we'll move to new and old business. I'll go ahead and open it up to the floor. What was your name?
Leola.
Leola. All right, Leola.
Okay.
What do you got for us?
Well, I came to talk about my leak, because I waited till we got it fixed before I came down to ask for a sewer adjustment. And I was initially told that it would be only $29, and I see that there's been more added on to it since. But, it just took time to find the leak and get it fixed. So I waited till we got that done before I asked for an adjustment. And I was, sort of upset about that, because I was paying sewer on 22,000 gallons of water that didn't go down sewer.
Right.
And that was, then another thing, we had a sewer problem. And I do want to thank the town employees for coming and getting out the root ball, but after they got the root ball out, we still had a problem. And it was when my son told them it must be in the sewer in the middle of Hill Street, we were told that it was our problem, not yours. And I just wondered how much of the sewer in the middle of Hill Street that I'm responsible for.
Jaden, do you know the details on that?
Yeah, we ran the cutter and the jetter and the snake all the way up and went as far as we could. And
Well, by that time, my son had probably taken care of the problem, after he was told that it was.
no, this was before
Are you sure?
So generally,
then. 100%, yeah.
so basically from your house, your sewer line to the main is your responsibility.
Right, but I'm talking about the main sewer line that's in the middle of Hill Street, buried under the pavement. That's where the leak was, the clog was.
We ran like I said, we ran the root cutter.
Do you know what day that was? If they were up there one
Yeah,
day.
Tim could tell you, he gets work orders, so.
Yeah, okay, well, they were up there that one day, and, we still couldn't flush after they had the root ball cleaned out. And I don't know how many of you enjoy having, your commode contents back up through your
Nobody
bathtub.
does, yeah.
Yeah, but, and we
But if
had,
it was coming out of your bathtub, that's a problem with your own plumbing, that's not the sewer main. And normally, in your instance, we would go to your clean out and clean your clean, but you don't have a clean out outside, so we couldn't do that. All we could do was the main.
okay,
June 30th, July 1st.
okay, that's when you did it?
Mhm.
Well, it was the next day, I think, that my son took care of the problem.
And how did he, if you don't mind me asking?
He put about $100 worth of acid down, which is what they used to do,
Who used to?
the town. They used to get, you have a clog and they would give you acid that pour down to eat the roots out.
Well, it's not our practice to do that, we don't.
But.
And I'm not sure where did he dump it, inside the house?
Through a drain, yeah. But we have always had trouble with the tree roots.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doubting that, yeah.
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 But it's never been in our part of the sewer, it's been in the town's part.
Okay, but you ran the cutter through there and it was clear.
We ran as far as we could go, yeah. We have 180 feet and it's not 180 feet long.
Okay. And then he poured acid, and after that, you're good to go though, right?
Yeah, but not until after he put the acid down there.
Yeah, I would just suggest installing a clean out outside. Next time we'd be happy to jet it out.
I also had something else I wanted to, comment on, and that is the fireworks. I have no objections to people setting off fireworks, but I do wish they would be more responsible, because we got up one morning and had, bottle rockets all over, around the house, on my deck, and, I mean, we set off fireworks in the past too. I don't have a problem with that. But they need to be responsible about it, because that could have started a fire.
Mhm.
And these weren't the little bitty bottle rockets, these were the big ones.
I had a few in my yard too.
Yeah,
And I just know that that night, they were setting fireworks off all around me, so I had no idea who or what, but they just something needs to be done so they be more responsible about it.
okay.
And that's all, I just wanted to comment on the sewer.
Okay.
I mean, I understand I gotta pay for the water, I understand that, but that was 23,000 gallons of water that went down in my yard, not in the sewer.
And the reason there's 3 on there, you're allowed 3 per year. That's why there's 3. And I think Sherry just went ahead and did the 3 because you did have the leak.
Yeah. But it just took us a while to get it, when you got like 65 to 70 feet, to dig up and locate a leak. And the ground is hard, hasn't been moved for 50 years, over 50 years. 2 feet deep, yeah, it takes a while.
Right.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you. And then, Jeff,
Yes.
you want to get started?
Yeah, basically, we're here tonight as a fire department, represent Pearsville Fire Department. I wanted to introduce us. We've not been real good, I'd say, over the year. We've been talking about, we've not been real good about keeping with you all when we do contract with you all for fire protection. I introduced, the guys, on the department, my treasurer, my president, and of course myself. The only one I didn't know here was Anthony, and Sherry, I don't know if you know, Clayton or Dylan here. Like I said, he's my president, my secretary, or my treasurer, so we just want to introduce you to our officers and kind of get, acquainted, because we're gonna have to come up with a time sometime in the near future to discuss our contract with you all. It's been several years since we've sat down and negotiated anything. Last time it was negotiated, Tom probably remember, him and Gary Neal came and got us, and we negotiated a contract, and then we went from there, and it's stayed the same ever since. And with the problem we have with that right now is the fact that everything's went through the roof. In emergency services, they already mark everything up 100% on us, but here lately, I feel like they've done 100% on top of that 100%, marking stuff up for our to keep stuff going. So we need to sit down and go negotiate that. And then also we just want to address the project we got going on right now with the trail coming in. We've acquired some funds to get a side-by-side. Actually, we got a 6x. I don't know if any of y'all saw it posted on Facebook. We're pretty excited about that. We had the Washington County Community Foundation was gracious enough to give us $15,000 towards that. And then the Starlight Foundation board matched that $15,000. So we used that. It took that amount to buy the side-by-side itself. And so we're looking at about $10,000 short of finishing out the project. And you all been gracious and helped us before outside of our contract with projects. Steve Tide come and you all, helped us with the radio purchase for the guys for safety and that. But with this side-by-side, we plan on using it for, not only the trail, but the 4th of July is a big time for us, too, around here with emergency services. And that's where this thing will be, we won't know what we've done with that one once we get it going, because we're gonna put a unit in it that allows us to haul water. It'll haul about 85 gallons of water to put out spot fires, fireworks or whatever along the trail or, at the fourth. And then also it'll have a platform on it to haul patients out, certain circumstances where we can't get our normal trucks. Our smallest truck is a pickup truck right now, which, at the fourth, we can't maneuver around real well. Especially this year, for some reason, they messed it all up in the field, and you couldn't, you barely walk back there. They quadruple stack vehicles and everything, and that's a problem for us getting around at that time of year. So this will be a great asset in helping in that. And, we have several events throughout the year where we have UTV, ATV accident, some kind of off-road vehicle accident that we respond to also, along with horses. We have the Pekin Saddle Club out in our coverage area. The horses are a big thing too. We have logging accidents, hunting accidents. There's all kinds of need for it, but we're trying to do this up real nice and benefit, the people, and be good stewards of our money also with that. But with our fundraiser, we're trying to do this with our fundraiser and grant money. And like I said, we're going to be about 10 grand short, and we was curious if you all had any money in the budget to maybe have the kindness of your heart help us with this product, maybe match. We could, we could probably come up I take that back. We was about 12. The skid unit's going to be about 10 grand. I'm sorry. It's going to take another 2 grand or so to put lights, siren, radio. This thing is going to be equipped. We're not going to buy a trailer to put it on and respond with it in case of emergency, because that wastes a lot of time. I know I've talked with departments, they do that. They either keep it on a trailer, which we don't have the space for that right now until we get our station, we get into another station. But we're gonna letter it up, light it up, make sure everybody knows it's an emergency vehicle. It will respond, lights and sirens, just the same as any of our other vehicles. We can pull out of the station. We got to hop on the trail, we go pick up somebody that's went down on the trail or put out a fire, somebody started. We're going to go right out of the station with that, not mess with hooking up a trailer, taking it to the scene, offloading it. It just wastes a lot of time whenever in our business. Seconds, really add up. In a hurry, we've got seconds to spare, not minutes like that. So then the event would more likely be over by the time we hooked one up. So we're just planning on driving on the road. So we want to equip it, so it's it's ready for any situation. And we were just curious if you all would be willing to help us out, with that project. If there's, public safety money, I know the town gets quite a bit of public safety funds a year. If there's any room to wiggle with that, we're looking to benefit a lot of people in the area with this thing. So.
Well, it would get use in the city limits as well.
Oh, yeah. I will tell you that right now, majority of our runs is within the town limits. We're going almost daily to Shorts Corner Road, the Country View Apartments, and we've got the Eastern Park Boulevard, the apartments out there. We've got some hot spots down here at Casey's and the intersection of the Dollar Store. I can name you,
Are those fire calls
fires and medical, wrecks, medical, fires, so.
But this UTV would be equipped for fire
and EMS,
medical,
yes.
Basically everything.
Yeah, it can get into tight, it'll be set up so it can get into tighter spots in our smallest truck and start something or get a patient out before, we get clear to get, if we have to, get bigger, equipment in our trucks or what have you into that area to make that happen. Especially like I said before, we can't move I send 2 trucks to the night of the fireworks. You all probably seen them at the lagoon. We have 2 trucks down there, one that's set at the lagoon for the fireworks, and then one that's at the top of the drive, ready for anything around that. But once that starts, we're locked in and we can't move with those. Where we might have a shot of moving with this side by side is considerably smaller, and it'll haul a payload. It'll get us started, like I said before, we can get other equipment or to neutral or resolve the issue or whatever. So But, we just wanna kind of bring you up to speed on that. We wanna work with, people that don't know us and work with you, so we provide the best service and you know what we got going on and, that, so.
Okay. So basically you got two requests. The first one is you wanting to sit down and talk about the
Correct, yeah, we need to,
contract.
I don't know when budgeting needs to
I was just getting
happen
ready to bring that up, it's budget time now.
right now.
I just worked on that today.
Did you? Okay.
So it's something we need to discuss.
Is it too late, or is that what you're saying, Sherry, or no?
No, I just worked on it today. I
Okay.
put some numbers together, so.
Okay.
Did
And I can't tell you right now how much we have for, the public safety left for this year. But had I known ahead of time, I could have got you some numbers,
Well, the
but
thing
you're
is,
welcome.
Well, at the end, I don't know how much, so I keep an eye on them. I keep an eye on all the numbers and that, and I've lived in Pekin all my life, I don't know how things are going. I will say right now, as of the end of December 31st, you was sitting on like 96.
I meant how much I had budgeted.
But, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
understand
how
that.
many dollars.
So that's, you have to budget that amount to,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, and it's,
So there's 94.5. When do you get the draw into that for? Every month you get some put into that, which equals what, like 30,000 a year or something like that, yeah. So,
but that's going down.
oh, I know,
We
yeah,
are
I
gonna
figured that
lose
much.
that. Did you know that?
No, I hadn't heard that yet, which doesn't surprise me, I mean, everyone, that's why,
27,
Yeah,
we're losing it.
yeah.
yeah, that's why we're coming to you all for help, because we're losing a lot of our funding too. We rely a lot on grants. I mean, we wouldn't have near the department we do now if it wasn't for grants. A few years ago, we got a grant for $146,000 for air packs. And that was air packs alone that I got to by law provide each one of my guys with. They was $7,500 a piece at that time. We had to match $7,000 out of our fundraiser fund. So if anybody wonders what we're spending our money on when it comes to fundraiser time, we got to spend our match money or match our those funds with our fundraiser money. So we built it up and we did it in a hurry. We had, that was like almost 7,000 around there, a match that we had to do on that to get. But on the flip side, we got $146,000 with air packs, which we got them at $7,500. And then the next year, Jackson Township and Martinsburg got them. They had to get less because the tax had went from $7,500 to $9,500. And so, yeah, they got considerably less, had to spend more money and got less than we did. We was fortunate that we're constantly, going for grants, for that kind of stuff. So our funds are going towards those, our unfunded mandates and all the testing and stuff that we have on that. Our insurance is through the roof. Everything just keeps going up on us. And, that's what we're here asking for a little bit of assistance to complete this project for us.
So with your first one, the annual contract, have you guys went through any numbers on what you're proposing that we need to be paying you?
Oh, yeah, we've been reviewing everything and crunching numbers and that and trying to see where we need to be on that.
You
Yeah,
guys,
so we're pretty well, Clayton can tell you more on that. He's been working on that. He's, as the president,
I've ran some numbers and I think we're not like super far off if we're trying to stay equal with what our other contract amounts are versus based on assessed value. So we're not, I believe it was in the $4,000 range annually that we're difference if we're taking an average from what the other entities are putting in versus what you all are putting in. But I think it would be good for us to sit down and review it and.
yeah, because
The problem with doing that, if you want all three board members, the only place you can do that is here.
right.
I can come do it with you, but then I would have to go to them, so I guess what I'm
Whatever you
saying,
think works
if
best.
you
That's
wanna
what-
do it, now's your time to do it,
Okay.
right?
Or could
It
they
is.
come
Or
to,
you could,
or could they come to the next month's meeting and have all their
they
paperwork?
could, but when do you have to have your budget in?
Well, we'll still be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to stretch, put anybody in.
Well, could you guys come back next month and
Yeah, sure, yeah. I
And bring
mean,
like all the paperwork that,
yeah, or we could, I mean, we can give you a heads
That's
up.
what I was gonna say, if you get me the paperwork.
Yeah,
I'll
we
get it.
give him a heads up and then he can give you a heads up. Can we meet with them individually or just you and take it to them?
Yeah, you can be the individual.
So, I mean.
They just can't talk outside. of
Right,
me.
right, yeah, without having, I'm quite aware of how that works.
You know how it is.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, you can meet with each one of those.
How it works, so, yeah, we definitely need to do that. Like I said, last time you, Tom and Gary, so that tells you how long it's been. I don't know how long Gary's been, retired now, but it was several years before he retired that we last negotiated a contract, so, yeah, so.
so yeah, if you could just get all of us the paperwork and then,
Okay,
you know, and then come to the next meeting.
yeah, you won't be blindsided, you have an idea where we're.
And that way we could ask you, like, what's this for, what's that for,
Yeah.
because we can't talk or whatever.
Right.
Right. And then,
100%.
Sound good to you guys?
yeah, no, that's good. And that's another thing with the request on the 10,000, that's kind of what I'm thinking, the same thing is we table it, like, let's actually think on it. Like, I don't wanna make rash decisions, I don't wanna make quick
Do
decisions.
you have a deadline on that?
No, but I mean, we just got to side by side, so we got to wait on some stuff to happen. If we put in, for this thing to be built, most of them, Salem just, they got one too, with the same kind of funds, and their unit that they're putting in theirs, I think it's 12 weeks out of even being completed, so nobody has them in stock right now, because it's a wildland unit, and, wildfires in this country have been out of control the past few years, and they're nonstop all year round, so they don't keep those in stock. You basically gotta call them up and say, this is what we want, and then they'll build it from there. I mean, they don't keep them in stock, they got to have them out in the field and working, so.
So getting it into the 2026 budget would be acceptable.
Yes, our contract is due up next year.
Yeah, contracts do, it ends at the end of this year.
Well, that's on the annual.
But yeah, that's on the annual.
The
Yeah,
10,000 for the side-by-side thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that time frame.
Yeah, we can, I mean, if you want to table that for a month, yeah, that'd be perfectly fine, so you don't think about that or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. Let's, if you guys can get the paperwork together for us, so we can look at it.
Yeah, we already have,
And I don't disagree that, something needs, some sort of increase needs to
Yeah.
happen. I don't disagree, because I do agree, cost has increased across the board.
It's
And
scary. I mean,
Especially
it's really
what I
hard.
can imagine.
As a volunteer fire department, we're struggling to stay afloat and keep the doors open. I don't know if the government keeps going with it. I don't know what we're gonna do, because they're forcing out. I mean, like I said, I was telling, these guys, we're fortunate with Pierce Polk. I've got 13 guys on my roster, and they're all pretty good about working. We have a bunch of auxiliary members and that'll show up every once in a great while and help out. But I mean, as far as our core group, we got 13 guys, and I got 5 of those guys that are career firefighters that work on paid departments. So they're getting the training and the knowledge and do this all the time. So that we provide a very good, for a volunteer service, we provide a very professional, good service. And we try to get the grants to keep our equipment up and have equipment, save time and save lives and property. Our ISO rating, I will tell you right now, if you're all familiar with ISO, if you're insurance for your homeowners, we're at a 6. And if I'm going to compare you to that, us being a volunteer fire department, we've worked our ass off, pardon my French, to get us to a 6. The city of Salem is also a 6 as a paid combination department on their ISO rating. We're 6.9, so that means anybody within 5 miles of our station and 1,000 foot of a fire hydrant, an actual working fire hydrant, we test those whenever they come around and audit us, and then they'll give you credit if you're within 5 miles of our station and 1,000 foot of a working fire hydrant at that 6 rate. Anything outside that's a 9, which, is still pretty good, because a lot of departments around are not even rated in their ISO, so the people out in those areas is basically like you don't have fire protection, so you're gonna pay through the roof on your homeowner's premiums. So they give you an example on that. They messed up one year, and my insurance lady called me and asked if I was still the chief fire department. I said, yeah. I said, what's up? She said, well, we just got in the paperwork for your homeowner's policy, and it's went up $450. She said, they said, your ISO rating, has something changed? Your ISO rating went from a 6 to a 9. I said, no, nothing's changed. We just audited a few years ago, and they don't audit us but every, like 5 years. And I said, no, nothing's changed. So I had to go call ISO and then go to the insurance. I had to square that all away, but they ended up refunding me a check of $450, and they had messed up on some people in town, because I had people coming to my house, all hours of the day and night, knocking on my door crying because they needed, what's up with my insurance? Because they say the fire department's not, I'm not protected by the fire department. My insurance went up $400 or $500. I can't afford it. And I went and straightened that out for them because it wasn't true. But we work very hard to keep, a professional fire department, for you all and provide, a very good service that, like I said, we are 6 and the city of Salem, as a comparison, is a 6 also on their rating. So, and that's with paid guys. But I had 5 guys. I'm very fortunate that I had, and all my 5 guys were officers. Well, with the exception of AJ Lawson, he just went to New Albany City. He's going to start over again, but he was a captain at Salem for several years. And, we've got a pretty good group of guys where all the other departments around, they can't say that. They don't have the guys that have the time to train or do anything, much less be on, or that are on a full-time department and know how this works, but, to provide a very good service for that. So just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with.
That's great. Yeah.
Or what you're all getting for what we're asking.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's definitely, and then, at a meeting, if you guys want to get a hold of me, and talk through it.
Yeah, we'd love to sit down and talk with, to be quite honest, we wanted to do that before, but we didn't know when the budget was supposed to happen, but we wanted to, I've kind of had a discussion with Jaden already. Jaden, I unloaded on him one day when I was frustrated about something. He got a working. Yeah, one of many people, but we would love to sit down with you, Darlene, and Anthony, and Tom separate and kind of give you an idea of what we deal with and what we're looking at as far as our budget, what we're working with, which is peanuts compared to what we really need to function.
Okay.
So that's where we need help everywhere we can get it
You're
without putting a burden on the taxpayers.
You're preaching to the choir.
I hope so. I mean, a lot of it's our fault, we struggle, but a lot of it's our fault. We try to make it happen ourselves. We save the taxpayers a lot of money by working on our own equipment, getting the grants. I mean, people don't know how many hours my guys put into keeping our stuff going. If we sent our trucks out every time something had a problem, that would eat up our budget alone in just in a month probably. I mean, every time we have a fire, something goes wrong. I mean, I've got, 8 trucks and that's what happens. You take them out, they set for so long, which is good that they set because nobody's losing anything or lives or whatever it's saying. But when they do, we have problems the next time we take them out. So we've actually got a truck right now that won't it barely pass pump testing. We got to have them pump tested every year. That's a requirement by our, ISO and everybody. And we had one that just barely passed this year, and we got to have it, the pump rebuild. So it'll pass the pump testing this year, or last year, I'm sorry, it didn't pass, barely passed. But anyways, it's going to cost $20,000 just to have that pump rebuilt on that truck for it to pass the pump testing, for it to be, to keep our ISO rating at that 6. Without it, we drop down and then everybody starts paying, and then I got to go into the house again. So we're going to try not to make that happen or let that happen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, let's talk on it.
Okay.
Come to me and we'll come up with something.
That'd be great.
And I think we all three agree, that some increase, I think, is well deserved. So, but we'll talk on it.
Yeah, we're not asking for more, we're just asking for enough to keep going. So, yeah.
Okay. Does that sound good, guys?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, if we can get with you all in the meantime separately, it'd be great. We can show you what we're looking at and give you a better idea of where we need to go from there. So in comparison to some of the other departments around or whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. All right.
Well, thank you all for your time. Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. So see no more public comments. Darlene, you got anything you want to add?
I wanted to, thank Tim and Jaden and Nikki for all the extra help. I was at the park by myself several days and stuff up, and they really helped me out a lot. And Nikki jumped right in, and was helping me before she knew who I was. So, Then also, I've already talked to Jaden about it. I had the Prince and Princess kids, they had a get together at the park. And the fencing was tore down from the smaller kids area. I really think we should look into a camera right on that area so we can find out which of our little friends in the park is ripping it down, and maybe either have Jeff go tell them, we've seen you do this, tell the parents, we've seen you do this, and you've got, so, I don't know.
Are you having the camera guy on that? Yeah, I said let's look at
And
it.
while you're talking about that, Darlene, I think we need to rip that fence down and make it taller.
Yes.
Because it keeps getting broke, as Jeff and I have talked about, the
It's
adults
just ways looking,
will
yeah.
sit on it.
Mhm.
So I think we need to tear it down, it'll probably cost a couple $1,000, but raise it up to about 6 feet,
Yeah,
Mhm.
so nobody can sit on it and climb over it.
Yeah.
So I'll get a quote on
Let's
that,
just-
if you guys want.
and then with the camera, we can essentially cover all the playground with it, so it's not just that one.
Yeah, and then like on that little building, I was one facing there, maybe one facing towards the mural, because I'm just waiting for that to get, I didn't know if the
That's
camera would do that, already that's there. But the mural tomorrow night, everybody's invited, 6 o'clock, for Thursday, I guess it's no tomorrow, Thursday, at 6, there's some people from IU Wilmington coming down that helped Shelby get the money going and stuff. And, so there's gonna be like water and cheese and cookies and just, they're gonna unveil the murals. So 6 o'clock, and you guys are all invited, Tom, you, Dolly, everybody. And then, she worked really hard on getting that thing done. So she, she's a grant funding fool too. And so there's that. And then the celebration next year, already in the planning mode, because it is America's birthday. And then the time capsule will be dug up. So we've got to find.
Is that next year?
Mhm.
Oh, goodness.
What's scary is I remember being there with my dad when we did it. So.
Now, when will that be, Darlene? Will it
That'll
be
be
done
on
at the
July
festival?
4th. It has to be done on July 4th, so we've got to find someone to dig it up, undo the capsule thing, and then, we have to find someone that hopefully will donate us another one, put it back down in, that type of
We
thing.
can dig it up unless it's gotta be something else.
I mean, I was 6, or 7, I don't remember, but
But surely it's not that deep.
How long's it been in the ground?
50 years.
It'll be 50 years next July 4th.
Okay.
And it's, where it's at, it's a
Mm-hmm.
So, and we would the plaque, we can't say the plaque because it's got the wrong date on it. But I was gonna talk to Rondell and see if we could purpose it, save some money, or something like that, because we'll open it up, put another one right back in, and then 50 years from next year.
Yeah, we can dig it up
Yeah,
And then,
and bury the new one.
okay, we just,
Now, when you dig it up, will you have the new one ready to go? Okay,
yeah, that's the protocol for it.
okay.
We just have to find somebody, I'm gonna talk to Rondell again too, because I'm like, is it like an urn or what,
The one out here that they put was a coffin. Yeah,
So I.
so I'm sure there's some kind
So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, where's the one you're talking about?
Over the park.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Yes,
yes,
the park.
yes, okay. I forgot about that one, but when was this one put out here? I remember it.
20 years ago maybe, but it's 100-year capsule, so I don't know.
So we
No,
need to
it's
work on
not-
that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna see it.
So, but the one over there at the park, I just need to find out about, if we can get help with getting it dug up and then reburied. We've got to put new concrete over it and all that, and then the placard, and then the actual capsule thing, because I'm like, I don't know if it was a capsule or like mini cup, what it was.
I've never seen pictures of that,
So I don't know.
so I don't know what it is.
So we have to have somebody like,
Would it be appropriate to dig it up beforehand?
oh, we can't do
No,
it.
because I would hate to dig it up on the 4th and spend an hour breaking through concrete.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it open, I know. If we could find somebody that's still around that actually knew,
I'll ask Gary, Gary might know.
yeah, but we have to, we gotta get working on it, because then we, like you guys, we've got to find somebody that's gonna help us pay for the new thing, the plaque, and then Shelby's working on a thing where, individuals could put stuff in there, You know, I'm sure the bigger it is, the more it's gonna cost us, so that type of thing. So that's next year for that, and then, the fence around the little kids area. And that's about it.
Alrighty, Tom?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. I want to thank you, darling. It was a wonderful, wonderful Fourth of July.
Oh, thanks. Me?
And the color guard, which is very important to an awful lot of people.
Yep.
Was just wonderful,
They were gonna
exemplary.
come back next year. They wanted to walk from the school, so everybody could see them. But for some reason, I don't know who told them, you know, just go ahead and start with the other walkers. But next year, they said they'll walk from the school, so I'm like,
That
you know,
was
see,
just
that's gonna be awful.
sharp.
Yeah.
And I wanted to thank Jeff for the protection he offered. A lot of groups out there, terrorists, they seem to like to hit symbols.
Mhm.
They don't do something, you know, that would really bring us down to our knees economically. And this is a symbol. And so I felt very good that you had so many people here taking care of it.
You know,
Thank you.
Jeff helped me get the paperwork we decided last year after our wonderful weather issues, tornadoes and stuff, we came up with, I came up with the common sense, I called it emergency plan.
Uh-huh.
Who's contacting who was doing what, who was to be where, blah, blah, blah. So he helped me with that from the county. And then I just put all my other stuff on it, so.
Great,
It's ready.
that's all I have.
Alright, good deal. Speaking of the fire stuff with the hydrants and everything, so as you guys are servicing them, has any discussion on painting them occurred?
No. I mean, it has occurred many times over the past
Right.
5 years, but it just comes down to time.
Right.
Who's gonna do it? Yeah.
I started painting them a few years ago,
Yeah.
and everyone I painted, I think, got tore out, or tore it.
Okay, something like that, does it have to be like, you guys do it?
No,
Because, you know, my Queensport has to do community volunteering.
and we can
So
find
they don't
some
have
for
to,
them
I asked.
that were safe, because, you know, a lot of them are right by the road.
Yeah, by the road, in
Well, I
the
would
bushes.
I would babysit them, if you could, like,
Now, isn't that like a specific red color that we
It's
have to
just a
use?
safety, just a
Yeah, I've
safety
got it.
grade,
Yeah.
you know, that, yeah, I've got some of it too. And we can come up with plenty of paint if they wanted to do that. They may have to be brushed off. I mean, when I was doing it, I was taking a wire brush and we're brushing the dirt, and then we have to dig them out weeds first. You know, I weeded around them, and then I put weed killer, and then I scraped them, and then I painted. I wiped them with mineral spirits and then painted them. So
well, if you'd like, somebody get me a list, and then, I'm not doing.
there's
snakes.
33 of them, ain't there, Jaden?
There's 33 here in town, yeah, there's a few regular hydrants outside of town, and
Yeah.
several flush hydrants.
Oh, yeah, the
So-
flood, yeah, that's not even touching, that's just a fire hydrant, that's not the.
So if you can get me like the list of which
Yeah.
ones really need done, and then if somebody weeds around them, then the girls will go paint, but I'm not fighting with snakes, and that.
I will weed eat around them and kill, I mean, we got guys that can spray some weed killer
I
around them.
think we've got most of them sprayed.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've noticed that they're in a lot better shape.
Yeah.
That
When I started, I had to spend a day digging them out before.
They actually make something, it's called a hydrant hog, that is attached to a backhoe and goes around the wire, brushes it.
Down to the dirt, and then you don't have to worry about it.
You know, you're talking several $1,000s. Have that-
Salem have one.
Nobody has any of the rent.
Mm,
Silver Creek Water did, but they had 300 hydrants.
yeah,
So I don't know that would,
Most of Salem's are on concrete, on sidewalks, or roads,
yeah.
they don't have them like we have them buried in just off the beaten path, so to speak, here.
Or you like the ones in town or the ones at the park, that area, maybe they, you know, we could get. that dark.
sure, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we can get you the materials, we can get,
Ask them nicely.
yeah,
Yeah, because some of those you put reflective tape around them, and I like that.
yeah, and I still have that too. I was gonna carry on once we got some of the ones that were broken. I stopped because I had to figure out which ones were broken, and at first, which I didn't have a good idea at that time. Like I said, I painted a couple, 2, 3 of them, I think, that had to be fixed and got tore up. Well, the one here, the yellow one, the semi got,
Ran
I
over.
painted that one, and it got ran over not long after that, and then the one here at Station 2, and then one over there, they broke right after I painted the thing, so that's pretty aggravating.
Is the one off Shorts Corner still broke?
No, it's not broken, it's just shut off on the ground, it's one we're gonna do maintenance to.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And see, the bad part about it, it's like anything, like Jeff said, fire stuff is twice as much. Most of the time, it's cheaper to dig it up and replace it.
Yeah,
And when you dig up a fire hydrant, it's a pain in the butt.
it's a project.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
project. It's not just dig a hole, it's
Yeah.
big, you know, you're talking 150 PSI pressure out of a 6-inch pipe is dangerous, and
Mhm.
so.
Well, all right, so let's get a list together and see if we can, see what we can knock out. You know, I mean, I can take care of mine over there, somebody give me the paint, I mean, I can.
Yeah, I painted one of my subdivisions, I guess, I don't know if you can't get.
We're gonna try to
Hopefully get it fixed.
Yeah.
And the school takes care of theirs out of school, a lot of them are taken care of by the people that,
Yeah.
you know, the property that they're on, I mean, but you gotta watch that, yeah, we need them to be well, actually, if you did it by law or by the way they're supposed to be, there's a scale for, there's red, which is 500 gallons or less, and then there's, yellow, blue, and green or something like that for the flow rate of them. We don't have to do that for ISO, we just paint them all red, all we gotta do is test them and send them the results, and then they'll put them on their list of ones that qualify for that. But yeah, around here, we're just painting them the safety red or whatever I think it is. You can go to Ace and get a gallon of it for nothing, you know. And I can get all that donated. You can come up with some people who want to paint them because it's a project.
And then, too, after school starts, National Honor Society, kids are always needing volunteer hours.
You know, we can hook them up.
So, yeah,
I'll even volunteer my kid.
There you go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
yeah, and I'm like, just a list, I know where they're at, because I'll have to go babysit them.
We can put it.
Yeah, we'll get you
which
some
ones
sort
work.
of safety vests, cause it's,
Yeah. A lot of them.
as soon as you're running by the street, it's a nightmare. People don't pay attention.
No.
Okay, well, perfect, all right, well, thanks, guys, on that, so, all right, and then, so I know we've been working on the ordinance violations and stuff, how the response on all those?
Pretty good.
Are they, do you
Yeah,
have
pretty
anybody that's not responding?
Most of them have responded. I have 2 or 3 that I need to go the next step on, but I just ain't got time to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, well, that's good, I mean, we started out with a lot,
We
so,
started off a lot, and then there's a few that called in that needed an extension. So I explained to them, this was just a notice, you're really not in violation yet, so.
okay, so it's moving
Yeah,
forward.
it's moving forward.
Perfect. And then, I mean, I know you've been working on a lot. Have we worked on anything with that second source of water that we talked about?
No, I have not.
Okay,
But I do have it in my notes to call Daryl down the board.
and see what we can do. Okay, yeah, I think it's definitely time.
After this week?
Yes. Yeah, we need to take something. Okay, and then, did you ever price out that sweeper machine that we talked about?
No, I haven't. I mean, actually, I take it back, I did. Jacoby's had a brand new one, it was $7,000 or $8,000 that they could attach to the front of the tractor. But, I don't know if you've been on it, we use the blower and it works great.
Okay,
We just use the blower in the golf cart. Just right
all
through.
right, well, that
So,
works then,
Yeah,
as long as it keeps it nice looking,
Yeah.
you know?
I think it looks
I
great.
just don't want a bunch of rocks thrown.
Yeah.
Who is supposed to be in charge of like keeping it weeded and all that?
It will eventually be a part of the town's park system.
Okay.
And I just sprayed weed killer on it last week, so it should all start dying down.
They just hired somebody.
Who did the park?
Jeff told me today,
Oh, really?
they just hired somebody to hit the trail with the spraying and all of that. He said they're in training with them right now, and that's what he told me today.
Because I was wondering, because like when you get down to Borden, you know,
I sprayed from here to the county line last week, so it should start dying down. I used
well,
50 gallons.
this guy named Kenny Hall was one asked me, he goes, look at all them weeds on, I'm like, that's my problem.
There's some kind of vine that's halfway up on the trail down there. I don't know if it's through. But like Jeff said, the grass is going crazy, the weeds are even crazy.
Yeah.
Right, okay. That finishes me up. Sherry, do you have anything you need to add? All right, anybody else have anything additional? All right,
You guys get also Sherry a copy of all that stuff when you bring it to us.
Oh, yeah, we had copies for You know, we want everybody to know, all parties involved, to have an idea what we're looking at and dealing with, for sure.
Perfect. Well, perfect, need a motion of adjournment?
Can I make the motion of adjournment?
I second.
Thank you, everybody.